The conclusions drawn in this study are that in the 4 years since the initial review, there have been a great number of advancements, especially in the areas of understanding, diagnosing, prevention, and treatment of food allergies. They also conclude that epidemiological studies have given professionals the basis for investigations of risk management and prevention. They also conclude that studies that are still ongoing are planned that involve OIT, EPIT, SLIT, modified subcutaneous immunotherapy, DNA-based vaccines, and other biologic approaches, and these will be able to provide even more data regarding the possible treatment, management, and prevention of food allergies. So, do I agree or disagree? I do agree that food allergies are on the rise, but I do disagree with the belief that earlier exposure is the best method for preventing the development of food allergies. In my personal experience with my own 3-year-old daughter who has an IgE condition as well as eosinophilic esophagitis, early exposure did not make any difference in the development of life-threatening food allergies or multiple food allergies in my daughter. She was exposed to a vast number of the foods that she's allergic to now before she was 6 months old, and she has a large number of uncommon food allergies which are expected to grow over the next few years. I also have noticed that a large number of family members of mine have developed life threatening food allergies well into adulthood, despite never having a reaction to these foods before. Some of these foods include pork, where I had family members who ate bacon, egg, and cheese their whole life, and one day they would they had anaphylaxis and ended up in the hospital and could never eat pork again. The biases I observed were, as my notes show, ascertainment biases. The studies that they used to confirm their hypothesis limit the ages that are being studied. Adulthood goes well beyond the age of 19, but the oldest age that they cite is 19. It also claims that food allergies are more common in industrialized countries, but doesn't provide any comparative data that would indicate that those that aren't industrialized have a lower prevalence of food allergies. And they also attempt to look at food allergies by race, but basically only look at those who are non Hispanic black and non Hispanic white, while negating other races and ethnicities. Some considerations are that a vast majority of the studies focus on people who are at most 19 years old. The hypothesis states that children are more likely to develop allergies than adults, but there are adults who develop allergies in their mid to late 20s or older, which is something they should probably look at and compare. Another consideration should be the production of food rather than simply looking at medical history. Developed countries have been turning more towards science for the production of food. That's why we have GMOs and test tube foods, which could also have an impact on the development of allergies, not just the person's medical history. Due to the number of studies that were used in this review and the data obtained from each of these, I believe it's safe to say that the findings are in fact 100% applicable to the populations that were studied. These findings support the hypothesis that food allergies are both common and on the rise in industrialized and westernized countries, especially in younger children. I believe that the ideal study design for understanding the epidemiology, risk factors, diagnosis, and treatment of food allergies would be a birth cohort study because it would allow scientists to follow individuals from birth up until adulthood and maybe a little further in order to determine how do allergies come about and if they in fact are more common at a young age or can they just appear randomly at any time. Clinical trials would also greatly assist in further understanding why food allergies come about, how to prevent them, and how to treat them. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope it was informative.